You are listening to The Soul of Generation X, and you can find The Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, YouTube Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of The Soul of Generation X. We thank you for tuning in once again. We thank you for your support, especially in these trying times that we are in. Back is my co-host, my co-pilot, the one and only Lenny. Lenny, how's it going out there?
It's going good, man. Thank you for having me to this fabulous show once again. I really appreciate it.
We appreciate you, Lenny. We appreciate that knowledge, man. All that political knowledge you bring. You give us, you make us work. And anything going on out there besides work? You got anything? Any vacation time you've been using, or anything coming up?
Not really. Just work. Like every other business or entity, we're dealing with the tariffs. Our esteemed so-called wannabe president, who doesn't have a clue, he extended the tariff deadline to August 1st, which he has no clue about anything that he's doing. He's actually, this just came over the wire, put new tariffs on new countries. So you get, a country like the Philippines and Indonesia and all these other Asian countries that he's putting on these 25 to 45% tariffs on. So this like I said before, some episodes ago, this guy's running the economy like a yo-yo, up and down, up and down. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing. China isn't even fazed by it. But the American consumer, the American public, are the one who has to pay for these tariffs. It's not the country that we're dealing with. You and I as Americans, we're gonna have to pay for these tariffs. And what the tariffs is higher price on the things that you want to buy, like a barbecue grill or a cooler, or television or whatever it is, radio, whatever it is, you're gonna pay higher for that. So don't think that, just like when, Mexico's going to build a wall, they're going to pay for the wall, they still have paid for it. And you know what? The wall is still not built. So President Taco, he's completely out of his league with this. So, but, you and I, we got to suffer the consequences because of this idiot.
Yeah, that's what we've been, I don't want to say worried about, but maybe it is worry for some. We're seeing higher prices at the big box stores already, seeing higher prices online. I'm even seeing difference in portion sizes at some of my favorite restaurants. I don't know if you've noticed that as well.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
I mean,
I like the filet of fish at McDonald's. I like my filet of fish with no cheese, tartar, and tomato.
Right.
And I can tell you that the filet of fish has shrunk. You could actually fit two of them in one box. That's how small it's gotten.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So, things are getting smaller, but the prices are getting higher. So I might have to retire the filet of fish and start making my own.
Yeah. I haven't had a filet of fish there in a while. I know I've seen a difference in, my most go-to restaurant pretty much is Chipotle. And I've seen a difference in portion size my last two visits, and I've never seen that before. And it really starts to bring to light what we've been saying, because we haven't seen the worst of this yet. right?
No, no, oh no. We haven't even scratched the surface of it.
I don't think some people are taking this serious, but it's going to take some things. Like I say, I'm looking at, I can feel the bag. It just I feel like what 2 weeks was 2 weeks ago. I'm like, is anything in the bag?
Mm.
And I noticed that this time, and that's usually my what I'd say my go-to before show meal on the
Right.
on show record day, and uh, yeah, I've noticed this, and I left a note because they asked me, how was your food? How so yeah, and even in grocery ordering and our Prime uh, Amazon shopping.
Mhm.
I'm noticing that as well. And you said we have not touched, it's not scratched the surface yet.
Right.
Wow. Um, do you think there would be anything that would distract? And I hate to say him because it's not him. This guy he can barely write his name. Um, and my mind directly goes when I think anything that he's quote unquote doing, my mind goes straight to his staff. I don't. I'm just, so. You think anything will come up that will distract from this? This tariff.
Well,
Stuff.
well, to go back, Trump has always been a big guy, a big believer in the tariffs. Even before he got into politics, he always felt that the United States were getting ripped off with other countries. And to his point, I wouldn't say ripped off, but hey, we're going to give this, so we're going to have this. So we'll let you guys get by with charging us a little more, but we have access to what we need to have access to, as far as when it comes to defense and protecting the citizens of the United States. So it's basically a trade off. So you give a little bit to get a little bit. It's a two step. So what Trump doesn't, he doesn't understand that. He looks at numbers. He looks at dollars and figures. At we're paying more and they're paying less. But the trade off is, yeah, we might be paying, letting them get by. We're paying more, but we get all this other advantage of building a consensus relationship, able to put military bases in places where other countries can't. Okay, so he doesn't understand. He fashions himself as a great deal maker, but making good deals is that you got to give up something in order to achieve your goals or what you really want to have. So as far as I'm concerned, he's not a good deal maker, and yes, he's been high on tariffs for years, but the way he's going about it is totally wrong. When you negotiate stuff, you can't do it by just tweeting out nonsense. You actually got to do the hard work, sit in the smoke-filled room, bam the table, walk out. I've been part of negotiations for quite a while, so I understand how it goes. One side gets up and walks out, the other side, next side they get up and leave, and you keep doing this till you hash it out. But no, there's no end in sight with this. What I personally think was going to happen with these tariffs is that the American consumer are going to continue to pay higher prices. American consumer are going to suffer behind this, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see inflation by the end of the year or beginning of next year.
That's a good analyzation, Lenny. You broke that down really plain. Do you think, we break things up into, our needy to lower class to middle class to uh, high class and income. Do you think that the higher income folks are going to see a difference? Is it going to really scratch their surface?
You mean will it hurt their pockets? No.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, yeah, hurt the pot, but I mean, is it going to scratch the surface on some of these folks? I mean, what do you,
No,
how do you,
well, yeah, with the poor and middle class, yeah, we always feel get the brunt of the
but I mean,
hit.
I mean, the higher class, the higher income folks. Do
No,
you think that what? And I'm saying that it's kind of strategic. To what I'm saying is, I'm just taking it as many of those, maybe like depending on like what you did last, your survey you did uh, with the church, which was an outstanding presentation you made. Check that mini pod out, ladies and gentlemen. We have that posted. That was kind of a little segue there. Lenny didn't realize it. But what I'm saying is the higher income folks that would have voted for him, do you think that the tariffs are going to make a difference in their lives when they start going up, when things start getting higher? Like, like I said, I'm noticing in my food, the portions. Do you think these are things that they're going to notice as well?
well, I'm sure they'll notice the portion. But the difference is that
Price as well?
the price is going to go up and portions going to get smaller. Everybody's going to see that. But the difference between the classes of people is that they can continue to go out and eat these $100 steak dinners and lobster dinners, and knowing that they're getting a smaller portion, but it won't affect their bottom dollar. Whereas the working man or the poor, the blue collar guy, can't sustain that.
Right, right.
Me personally, I'd rather cook at home anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
I can make sure I get a good portion of food.
Right.
So but no, they won't. It won't affect them in a negative way. But
But what will if, and I guess I'm basically that's what I'm trying to get. What will affect that class of folks? Would it be just them personally being good empathizers? They can feel the need of other folks, or are some things really going to affect them? What you know less, blueberries going up high, vegetables, the cilantro, the basil, everything. What will it take to get to that class of folks?
well, let me start with the business owners, the small business owner. It's going to absolutely
Okay.
crush them. Their bottom line is going to get smaller and smaller. They're going to have
Okay.
to raise their prices higher and higher
Right.
just to break even. Even I wouldn't say to break even just to stay above the red line.
Hmm.
But what's going to really affect the rich and the ultra rich is the way it hits the market. When the market starts reacting negatively toward these tariffs, when corporations like Walmart and Target, the big box companies, can't get the items in, and when consumers, because they don't have any money, stop spending, that's when they get affected. When the consumer spending goes down, then big corporations, these fat cats, they start taking notice. And then when they start taking notice, then they have to put pressure on this administration to change what they're doing. Because if they don't change what they're doing, I can guarantee you, come election season, when the campaign dollars starting to flow, a lot of people will be out of campaign money. They won't receive it from these big corporations because it's like this here. You're only going to support people that's going to look out for your best interests. And I'm afraid that the corporations who I used to respect at one time have literally bowed down and bended the knee to Donald Trump like he was going to do so much for the stock market and their bottom line when he's actually, really just driving them out of business. Because you got to understand, this guy said out of his own mouth, he's the king of debt. He loves debt. He thinks being in debt is a good thing. That's why he didn't care about blowing another $5 trillion hole into the national debt. So yeah, he's bad business. the guy who ran 5 or 6 companies bankrupt. Yeah, he's bad for your business.
Way to summarize that, Lenny. I totally agree. Moving on, uh, we had a name that's resurfaced uh, the last week or so, various times, various places. It's going from I don't want to say a minor thing to a major thing because it's always been major, but it's getting a little bit above major now. I mean, to where things might be making a difference. We're actually rooting for this, believe it or not. That name is Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah.
Um, we've seen that name come up in I'd say a threat by Elon Musk. We're hearing it back in the news. The so-called list that is supposed to be somewhere. Um, and also, it's been a little bit comical as of late from what we've been last couple of days. What's your take on that?
Man, where do I start with that?
Where do you
You know,
start on that?
you know, this is a sad state of affair where a guy like Jeffrey Epstein. But this happens all the time. This is just highlighted. You know, when you take that yellow highlighter and highlight something. So this goes on a lot. So
Okay.
you know, with Jeffrey Epstein and the people that surrounded Jeffrey Epstein, like Donald Trump and some of these other fat cats. Epstein is a despicable guy. He's a smart guy, billionaire. You know, born and raised in New York City. He was a financial teacher, a philanthropist, investor, and a criminal, all in one. He's a smart guy. Mathematically, he's genius. He made his money, you know, stock market, you know, and he owned the island. He called it Epstein Island, you know.
Right.
And my take on the whole thing is that you got a bunch of people who surround themselves with a child rapist. Personally, with this so-called list, I think a lot of names on there that, and it's a Democrat and Republican. You know, Bill Clinton, um, uh, current president as well, Donald Trump, and there are probably a lot of other people that are well known. This Epstein, you know, according to his arrest record, raped, molested, and drugged underage girls and had sex with them. Not only him, but his girlfriend, who's serving prison time right now. So for the cover up, and also all this is a cover up. Pam Bondi's part of the cover up. Back in March, she said, we have the names of the list of everybody that was part of Jeffrey Epstein's, I'm just going to put it like this, sex group, okay? Because that's what it was. He had the names of the people who were having sex with underage girls, men and women. She said she has it. So the MAGA crowd said, release the names, and we're going to release the names. But now all of a sudden, yesterday, I didn't say I was going to release the name. I said I was going to look at everything along with Martin Luther King and JFK. So she's definitely waffling and backtracking. She was definitely told, under no circumstances, will you release those names, because somebody's name on there doesn't want to be put out there. Yeah,
Right.
so you know, Jeffrey, and according to reports in the video, Jeffrey Epstein hung himself. But also
Right.
in the video, there was a minute of footage that was missing from the video. So, you know, what happened to that minute? When you have CCTV round the clock coverage on his cell, then all of a sudden 1 minute out of the 24-hour loop is missing. Come on, the man. Listen, this is my theory, and I'm not a big conspiracy theorist. Somebody in that minute, someone went in there. Either this is two things either happened, because you never saw the body of Jeffrey Epstein when they took it out the cell. Either somebody went in there and strangled him, or somebody got him out of there, and he's probably in hiding somewhere, in exile.
You think he's somewhere maybe in Cancun, or because he's not on where
No one ever showed his body. They say they cremated him.
He could be anywhere. Yeah,
He could be anywhere.
that's true.
I mean, the man was a billionaire. You don't think he could stage his own death?
I never believed it.
Yeah,
I never believed it. And when
Yeah.
they put his sidekick, Ghislaine Maxwell,
yeah, they put her in prison.
yeah, when they put Ghislaine Maxwell in, I said, man, what's gonna happen now? And then she's gonna have 24-hour surveillance. Somebody gonna try to get rid of her, snuff her out, and we'll never find out about this mystery or what. And then all of a sudden, this Trump comes back wanting to run again, and I've always thought he was involved anyway.
Oh yeah, he's definitely involved in it.
I mean, you see the
Bill
picture.
Clinton's involved in it.
You see the picture. Well, oh yeah, a lot of celebrities.
Yeah,
From what I've seen on the list, quote unquote list. I mean, and I'll just say allegedly, Will Smith, allegedly, actor Tom. Oh gosh, you know who's in? What's the guy's name? Anyway, he was in Forrest Gump.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Oh, sorry, I couldn't think of Tom. Tom Hanks, Will Smith, P. Diddy, all these names that have surfaced. My question is,
you think Bill Cosby was part of that? You think they invited him to?
you know what? Honestly, I don't think Bill would need any of Epstein's smoke. Hey, now remember now, we got Bill Cosby, but we also got Dr. Huxtable. Now, people would okay, you know what I'm saying? So, Bill Cosby, Dr. Huxtable. We can't punish.
Dr. Huxtable went there?
No, Dr. Huxtable was not there. Now, Bill Cosby.
He was solo. He was by himself.
Yeah.
Okay. I can go with that.
Yeah, but people, they want to cancel out Bill Cosby, but you got to remember, we came up on that show, so Dr. Huxtable, we can't class Dr. Huxtable with they're trying to incriminate or Bill incriminate himself.
And I just want to put this. I want our listeners to understand that.
Go ahead.
We're not making light of the horrors that these young girls deal with these old crusty behind men.
No, we're not
slobbering all over them.
We're not.
All
we're
right?
not doing it.
That's no excuse for that.
No excuse.
And it's
no
despicable.
Excuse.
And it's because I have daughters.
Yes,
And
granddaughters.
I know that
daughters.
we have granddaughters. And,
yes, we were not making fun of that.
It's disgusting, and in no way will we ever condone child pornography.
No.
Or any kind of touching of a child. That is disgusting. But these are nothing but creeps. These are dirty old men.
Yes.
Who preying on innocent girls. And when I say people say, oh well, they were there for the money. But listen, people for years have been enticed with money and where were their parents? Things happen. Boys and girls are impressionable. But you got a billionaire that's catering to you and buying you this and giving you that, lavishing you with gifts. You kind of lose your way.
Yeah.
So it's not right for them to do that because those guys and those women should know better. It's just like when a teacher molests a kid, a guy, a boy
Right.
in school.
Right.
I want to give you good grades. Come over, have some wine with me,
Mm-hmm.
and this and that. I'll buy you this. I'll buy you that. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I've been on that end of that.
Mm-hmm.
Where, I was enticed by
Yes.
an older lady when I was young.
Yes.
So I understand how that could be. You can get, feel like, hey, that makes me feel good. It's gratifying. They're showing me all this attention. But when they, in reality, they're nothing but predators, reptiles after you.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, for my take with this, I hope they release the information. But, Pam Bondi, she's waffling like a fish out of water. And I don't think it'll ever get released under this administration. And I'm not, to me, I hope that Epstein is not running free like a wild man somewhere else in another part of the world and doing this to other kids.
Right.
And yeah, that's where I am on.
But just a slight addition to that thought, and this is just I'm thinking just way out of the box again, way out. Why would these high level celebrities, actors, musicians, why would they? What could Epstein be offering them? I mean, you've got so much money there together. Like some of the names we just named, you've got so much money there, so much that they could be doing anything they wanted. Just why would they be? I don't say catering to. He's catering to them. What would entice them? What could he be offering? And my mind goes to just making you think a little bit here. Okay, we know what he's about. We've seen it. We've seen the documentaries. We've seen the people. One young woman who was in a Netflix documentary actually committed suicide about 3 or 4 months ago. And I remember seeing her. I believe she was involved with the Prince, that particular one from England. But what could, and I guess I want to hear you say it, what could he be offering them that they cannot do themselves? Do you think that these folks knew that they were possibly or were going to participate in this type of horrific, corrupt sexual behavior with minors? I mean,
Yeah.
how do you
Yeah.
how do you
Yeah.
bring
know
that?
what?
I mean, how make us understand?
Okay. I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna put this real down low, so people can grab it right off the vine.
You mean
This
like you do
this
when
was
you put
nothing
stuff
but
down for the goats?
yeah for the goat.
You always
Where the
put it
goats
down
can
low for
get
the
to it.
goats, or where the goats can get to it. Yeah,
So this
there you
was an
go.
opportunity for these allegedly these high price, high polluting celebrities, nothing more than to have sex with young girls, with young guys. You remember back in the day with the Wild Water Sports, it was a thrill of victory,
And the agony of defeat.
agony of defeat. So for them, it was a thrill of victory. And Epstein was an avenue to make this happen. We could go way out here in the middle of the Atlantic or the Pacific, wherever he had his island at, the Caribbean, and have an just unconscious amount of sex with young girls, with young boys. This is something that we can't do because we got to keep our reputation. But Epstein's going to be he's going to be that pipeline for us. He's going to get the girls. He's going to get the booze. He's going to lavish them with this and that. And here we are. We'll show up, and they'll be so amazed to see a guy like me coming there with all my stars and status. They know me from this show or that show. They see me in this movie or that movie. And I'm showing them all this attention. And I asked them, I've always, loved pretty girls and yada, yada, yada. Here they are, baby virgins, first time being around a man or a woman, and they were easy pickings. That's what they wanted. They wanted that young, tender girl or boy because they couldn't do it in out of from their status, who they are. Epstein was nothing but the pipeline to their fantasies. All right, he was the pipeline to their fantasies. He fulfilled desires that was already in them. They just needed someone to bring it out and keep it hush hush. All right. So that's it in a nutshell. That's why. These people, whoever participated in this, are sick. All right. They probably the same ones that go to the Playboy house and penthouse and rub elbows with those women, but that's not what they were looking for. They want that young, tender, innocent. All right. They wanted to take advantage of use their influence to take advantage and lavish these young people. And bottom line is to rape them and have sex with them. That's what it came down to. So yeah,
Wow.
Epstein was nothing but the pipeline to that fantasy, and he fulfilled it for a lot of them.
But I tell you, you actually you said what I won't say I was hoping you would say, but I don't feel so far out in left field as they would say, because that's what I've thought all along. And um, and you know how you get to know some of your favorite celebrities, growing up, and they kind of almost become a part of you. I don't say
Yeah,
part of your family, but certain shows you.
yeah,
And when they started showing these names, you start saying, you said, wait a minute, no, not so and so, not so and so, you know, uh, not Tom Hanks.
yeah.
Why would Tom Hanks be there? You know, why
Well,
would my man Bill Clinton? Why would I? And you start like, and man, my mind went to what you just said way back. So I see that I'm not alone in that thinking.
yeah.
So
We're just keeping it
glad
real,
you,
man. We're just keeping it
yeah,
real.
yeah. I'm glad
This ain't
you,
locker
yeah,
room talk. This is real talk.
this real talk. And I see that I'm not so far. We that's something we can delve into a little bit more um, on another show. But right now, we're going to take a break and pay some bills. And here we will be right back with more of the soul of Generation X. Welcome back to the soul of Generation X. We once again thank you all for tuning in and supporting the show. Uh, this second season has been going very well, and we appreciate the ratings, 5-star ratings, and Also, emails and just keeping in touch because we are accessible. Thank you all. Getting back to the matters at hand, what we have here next on our docket. We dealt with a tragedy as a nation this week, and it's actually still going on, believe it or not. Um, the floods in Texas. Some have blamed that on a shortage of National Weather Service employees. Some have said that people weren't in the right place. They weren't here. I know I've already come up with what I think the reason is, besides just nature in general. I'm on the side of the over 600 National Weather Service employees were let go in this Trump Doge catastrophe that's occurred. Um, uh, there was a meteorologist in Miami who spoke maybe a couple of weeks ago, saying that it would be very hard. He came out and said we cannot properly predict weather and hurricanes with what has happened. But getting back to the Texas incident here, um, there's been a tremendous loss of life. Um, and even as hard and angry as I am, and I get about the situation we've been dealing with Trump and these red states and everything that they're doing, I still, my heart, being a grandfather of three girls, um, my heart still goes out for these young ladies, innocent young girls involved in this tragedy. Some who have not been found, some who have been found. I look at it as a parent, I look at it as a grandparent, and it really, it. I'm already angry about all of this, but this even takes it to the next level because this didn't have to happen. Lenny, you've been looking into this on your end, and how do you think we got here?
Well, first, let me just say that you know, I, you know, I can't because I haven't lost a child, and I'm afraid I never will. I don't know what these people are going through emotionally. I'm sure they're torn up inside, and they're searching for answers. And my heartfelt sympathy goes out to each and every family who's lost someone, because losing someone is never easy. That being said, this could have easily been prevented with not one loss of life, or close to no one losing their lives. And I've been watching these press conferences with these local politicians and the governor, his cronies, are getting mad at reporters and parents of these children for asking, whose fault is this? All right? The old expression say, you beat me getting mad, and I'm the one who hurt him. You're more mad than I am. Because I'm asking the question, why didn't you guys do your job? Why didn't you have the system in place to alert? All right, we live in a place where lightning storms are prevalent, and we have what we call lightning protectors. It goes off, it sounds, everybody get off the field, or everybody get to the bus, till the lightning pass over. Texas, and I'm going to put the blame on Abbott and Trump. Okay, Abbott had an opportunity to have the same kind of protection for the people that lived in that low-lying region of those counties. But you know what? He refused to do it. Oh, it costs too much. But everything is big in Texas, the great state of Texas, as he likes to say all the time, was too cheap. All right, Abbott, you were just too damn cheap to care about your own people. And another reason I'm gonna lay the blame on Trump is because he sent his Doge boys in there and slashed anything that FEMA had pretty much to the bare bones. All right. So now you don't have FEMA taking the lead in this. You got good people of that state, of that area trying to help. So yeah, I'm gonna blame Abbott. All right, Greg Abbott, Donald Trump, Kristi Noem. I'm gonna blame them. I'm gonna blame Elon Musk and his Doge bros. All right, for this. This blood, this loss of life is on their hands. And I just want to give you a quick background on Abbott. You ever heard your mother say, "Boy, you're so damn hard-headed. You don't listen." Let me tell you the story behind him. How he got in a wheelchair. How he became a cripple. All right. So it was a storm that came through his part of Texas. He had just graduated from law school. And they said, everybody stay inside, till the storm passes. It's still too dangerous to go out. So this hard-headed Governor Greg Abbott wants to take his ass and run. He feel like, I got to go get my jogging in. I got to go run it. So he gets out there and starts running, and a damn big old tree branch fell across his back and broke his spine in half. So he's crippled in a wheelchair from the waist down. See, that's what hard-headedness gets you. And see, this is what hard-headedness got him in this situation, because he didn't listen to the expert, the people that were trying to tell him, we need this system in place. So the blood is on his hands, 100%. The blood is on Donald Trump's hands, 100%. And this is what you get when you got ignorant-ass people, selfish people, running the highest form of government.
Yeah, and that's I mean, and this keeps adding up for Donald Trump. I mean, we can go all the way back to COVID. How many lives are chalked up to his name? I mean, when you say, it continues to grow, and it really, we sit here and we shake our head about all this stuff. I mean, it's back and forth. I shake my head in disgust when I hear his voice, when I see him, when I see his staff that are the architects, as they say, of all of these bills, because it's not him. He's executive order. He's just a puppet. And I sit here and I shake my head. And when I heard about this flood, when I actually saw it the other day, and the first thing they said is that we're missing about 20 young girls from a camp. And I mean, just immediately I went into parent mode. But at the same time I said, okay, this is Texas, right?
Right.
And I'm thinking, and my mind went here for some reason, but it just hovered there. And you tell me maybe if you even thought this. My mind went there and said, I wonder how many of these young girls' parents voted for Donald Trump. And I thought about that just for a little bit. It just kind of hovered. And then I saw a picture of one of the young girls, and she was like, maybe she was 8. And then, like I said, of course, you think about your own kids, your own grandbabies. And then that left, and I got even more angrier that they had nothing to do with this. They probably, many of them had probably already formed in their minds that, I see a lot of kids now that, they interview, who is this guy, Donald Trump? Oh, he's a mean guy. I mean, these kids are, they're so smart at such an early age now. And you just wonder, you know, what was in their minds. You're thinking that's when we cross lines there. That red and that blue, it doesn't mean anything. You know, um, if I could help or save one of them, no matter if their parents were wearing a MAGA hat with MAGA all over the car, I know I would try to save them. And that really just hurt me to think the hate that so many of these folks have, and how sometimes things can cross lines. I don't know if you heard, there were two young Mexican young girls who were helping in the search for these young girls. Did you hear? Did you see them?
Yeah, actually, Mexico, the president of Mexico, she sent over
Yeah,
a team.
Claudia Sheinbaum. She sent over, and that's you bringing up Claudia. I mean, as much as they're disrespecting her and the Mexican people, and she does that. It's just that speaks volumes of who they are compared to who our leaders are.
Yeah.
These young Mexican girls here, I think they just Texas residents, but it came up first. These two young Mexican girls were helping in the search, and I heard them, and I mean, putting their lives in danger to help find. They actually found one of the young ladies, and they couldn't find the mother, and they eventually found the mother. And I heard one of them say, "Well, we're going back tomorrow or later because the father is still missing." So
yeah.
it's been over. It was just more than the girls who were missing. I think the total is up way 100, 150 now.
Well, yeah, it's actually
And it's what is
about
yeah
180 that's dead.
180.
200 missing. I think it's
200
higher than that.
Yeah, it's probably higher than that. And I just I just thought, how could man? It just they just did they just didn't deserve. They didn't deserve that. It just uh, they didn't deserve it. And my mind goes to one person when I think of this: Donald Trump.
So you
He's
yeah. So to your point, and I just want everybody to understand, this happened in the middle of the night when these kids were asleep. People were sleeping in their homes,
no warning.
and this flood came through. No warning. Just no warning. So imagine people have to imagine what the kid was going through, what they were going through when that flood water hit through. That you wake up, you're disoriented, water's rising, kids are screaming, they're trying to get to higher elevation. You see one kid get swept out the door and another one right behind him. I mean, could you imagine how terrified those kids are, and you can't get to them as a parent?
Also add, Lenny,
it's pitch black.
Also add that this particular camp they were attending was a I guess they call it a no electronic camp. So these little girls they were not allowed to have their cell phones.
Yeah, they had the cell phones
So to multiply what you just said, you're hearing this rush of water. It sounds probably like a freight train.
Yeah.
You don't know what. Then you start. Wait a minute. Why would their parents let them go out in the wilderness? I would even think of. I can't even, as I say, fathom doing that with my kids.
Right.
You're letting your kids go out in the middle. And I've heard experts who hike that area, and they're saying, like, I wouldn't even go out there with with no communication. One guy said, "I take a satellite phone," and he's an experienced 30-year hiker of the area. And here you are, you have these young girls out there with nothing, no, and if they would have, but also if they would have had the phones,
It would have
the
done it.
warning system that you say Greg Abbott
It would have.
slashed, they
Yeah.
wouldn't have gotten a warning as we get for in other states, about certain storms. So this is just a fiasco from the get go.
Yeah.
I mean, this
Yeah,
is
it was
just
a terrible
this is a horror movie.
communications by Greg Abbott and his entire staff, Donald Trump and his entire staff. And could you imagine hearing the screams of those children in the middle of the night?
Man,
Like you said, a freight train coming
a
down
freight train,
the middle of nowhere.
I say that as a freight train. I tell you why I said it later, because I actually went through Hurricane Andrew. I lived in Miami at the time, lived and worked, and to hear that wind outside and that rain, it literally sounded like a train track was outside the house. So, and that is almost as basic. It's literally terrifying. So, um, I could just, like I said, and you have water that's what, 30, 40, 50 feet swell. I mean,
Yeah,
muddy water,
muddy water, water with
trees, and
and
probably some
cars.
animals.
Animals and just everything just hitting up against your body and poking you, going through you. Some of these people were found 15 and 20 miles
Yeah,
downstream.
yeah.
Could you 15 and 20 miles?
Yeah,
I mean, we would be in the Gulf of Mexico, Atlantic Ocean.
yeah, yeah.
All of this could have been prevented.
Right.
If people wouldn't have been so, I want to own the libs. We're going to run this state. This is Texas. Nobody tell us what to do in Texas. But damn it, Abbott, you screwed up.
Yeah,
This blood of these kids and everyone who died is on your hands. Because, you can get on TV and say we're Texas strong, but you were Texas wrong. Okay? People want my thoughts and prayers. Listen, people want solutions to their problems. That's why they elect people, the government, to find solutions, not to hurt them. All right? They didn't elect Greg Abbott to own the libs or talk about a woke agenda. Them people can get less than a damn about DEI right now or a freaking woke agenda. They just want to know if their kids are going to be safe. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And these son of a bitches, you won't hear somebody like Stephen Miller get on TV and show any kind of sympathy for the loss, for these parents, for these dead kids, these dead people. He won't.
It would have
get his
to happen
ass
to him.
on TV.
It would have to happen to him.
Apology.
You hate to say it, it would have to happen to him before any type of empathy or anything is shown to what he. I think he's an alien. I think he's a shapeshifter. I don't like the guy. I know you don't. A lot of people don't. He's starting to surface more, surfacing just like somebody said the other day. Hell is empty because the demons have risen and they're inhabiting the earth. Hell is empty because the demons have arisen and they are inhabiting the earth. And who does your mind go to when you hear that? Donald Trump and his cronies.
Yeah. Pete Estes,
Hell is
Cash
empty.
Patel, Pam Bondi,
Yes.
Kristen Noem.
Hell
All
is
these
empty.
losers, these prolific and ridiculous losers are running the government.
Making money
Yeah.
off the backs of other folks. And Lenny, that kind of segues us into our final topic of the evening, which is something that really was shocking for me to see, which is also a situation of making money off the backs of others. Um, there has been a ruling that's come out that's saying that the IRS is giving breaks, or I would say giving breaks, but churches will be allowed to uh, bring politics into the um, pulpit now without being penalized. I was trying to think of the best way to say it because I don't know if many folks realize or that there's been I don't say an unwritten rule, but a rule if a church entity that's church related were to bring politics names into the pulpit, that they would be in jeopardy of losing their 501c status, which keeps them at a tax-free in tax-free mode. Many pastors have respected that. Some have pushed it to the limit, but we have found out that supposedly this is now okay to do, and they would be able to do this with no penalty. First thing comes to my mind is the evangelicals. I don't know why. My guess is good as yours, huh? But that's very, as we say, fishy. You're already in a tax-free mode. You have a 501c. You're not paying any taxes. You're spewing out hate to many people who take it and they make it a part of their lives. Now, you can legally bring names into your pulpit. How did this come about?
Before I before I dive into that, I just got something across the wires. I don't even know if I should even repeat this, but I'm gonna get it. Just real quick. So the MAGA influencer, you ever heard of Charlie Kirk? You ever heard of him?
Okay.
Well, if you hadn't heard, he's an asshole. So Charlie Kirk just claimed that the Texas flood death would not have happened if it wasn't for DEI.
Oh.
This asshole, this no good son of a bitch, through all this tragedy, wants to blame DEI. Now, this is not the first time Trump and his acolytes have blamed DEI. You remember they did it when the Delta plane crashed with the military helicopter. First thing they did, it was because of DEI. Also, the California wildfires, they said it's because of the DEI firefighters can't put the fire out fast enough. These no good sons of bitches in the time of tragedy will pull a stunt like this. Charlie Kirk is a piece of crap. All right? You know what? I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to get into it because I don't want what I'm going to say will be real offensive to our listening audience, and I'm not going to do that. But this guy, this weasel, this Stephen Miller acolyte would have the nerve to say that if it wasn't for DI, this wouldn't have happened. So, I'll leave that for another day. And to show you the type of people we're dealing with. But to your point, to your topic, so the IRS has allowed churches to have, and I'm not talking about churches chicken, I'm talking about places of worship, synagogues, to say, hey, it's okay. You can be politically active now. You can endorse candidates, and we're not going to penalize you. You still get to keep your tax exempt status. Okay, so basically, it's been going on anyway. They just haven't been open with it, like it is going to be now. And so a church can say, hey, we're going to endorse this guy. But there's a problem with that, or that woman. There's a big problem with that. And just looking at some of reading some of the comments and looking at some of the alternative news, other news, a lot of pastors don't like it. Why you say that? Well, now, so you're gonna go to church not based on what the preacher is teaching or the Bible. You're gonna go to church to depending on who the church is gonna support politically. So now you're gonna have people. Well, I'm not going to that church because they're supporting so and so. I'm gonna leave, take my whole family. So a lot of congregations, a lot of pastors are gonna lose memberships.
Well, it's going to be more open, Lenny. It's going to be, because we've been doing that anyway.
We've been doing it, yeah, but it's going to be
Yeah,
open. So that's
yeah,
what I'm saying. They can openly,
A lot of people.
they can put pressure. Now you're going to have these people that donate a lot of money to church. Well, we want you to endorse this guy. They're going to put pressure on the pastor to get him to say, hey, we're going to endorse this guy. You might have 50 members of the congregation say, no, I didn't come here for the support that guy. I'm even going to church B across the street. They're going to support my candidate.
Right.
So a lot of pastors don't like it because now you put the pressure on the pastor. But you got members who are going to put the pressure on the pastor and say, hey, you want to still get this $20,000 a Sunday or $10,000 every Sunday. You're going to support who I want you to support. And you're going to say it openly. So, who wants to be, you're trying to preach the word of God. Now you've the lines have been crossed between church and state. All right, all in the name of money. Lines have been crossed. So now you're gonna have basically got whoever can write the biggest check in the church is gonna win the day. And that's so sad.
But won't this also uncover the covered, as you would say? We're going to see who's real and what they're about. Because I'm willing to sit back and watch the fallout on this because we've seen that for years in various denominations, various churches. So I'm here for it, man. I'm here. I'm gonna pull up a seat, and I think it's pretty sad that it's gotten it, but I'm here for it because I don't need a man to be an intercessory for me and who I believe in, and I don't need that intercessory to stand. I got to give tithe to this man to so he can go and take his trips, pay his bills, and so I'm not. That's not going to even worry me. I'm here. I'm here for. I want to see the as they say, the hoods come off.
Right.
I want to see the hoods come off so we can see who is who, and that didn't make it make no difference what color you are, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whoever you are. This is not a color thing. I want to because we've been talking about evangelicals, but there have as Lenny did in this special mini pod that is now posted, which if you haven't listened to it, folks, you need to go back and check this out. Lenny touches on some of what we're talking about tonight. Black churches, white churches, not just white church, not evangelicals.
Yeah.
You have opportunists come in many shapes and forms and colors. And many times these opportunists, as just what the word is, look it up. You're profiting on. You're willing to go out and do whatever, and sometimes that means stepping on some folks. So yeah, I'm here for it. I mean, it's sad that we've gotten to that point, but this would be something to see, and it could be a good thing at the same time.
It could.
It could cause some of these evil entities, these organizations, as you put it, uh, to come tumbling, come tumbling down, break apart.
Yeah.
And that might help alleviate some of this hate uh, that we experience daily from various organizations, various folks. So, yeah, when does this actually go into effect? Do you know?
Immediately.
Immediately.
Immediately. Ain't
Is that
wasting
what
no
the
time.
is that the
Trying to-
new? So that's the
they try-
new administration. They
yeah.
just, hey, we're going to do this, and bam, just do it.
IRS.
No congressional
Nope.
approval or
No,
anything.
they just made the rule. IRS made the rules. So now my thing is, if it's for churches, what
Wow.
about all the other nonprofits? Can they now all of a sudden say, hey, we're going to endorse this candidate? I didn't see where it
Well-
said anybody else. But if
Oh,
you do
so
for one,
it's
you gotta
just-
do for others.
Well, I mean, so who are you specifically referring to?
You're gonna have like the Urban League or
Oh, okay, I
know.
got you. Okay.
know.
Yeah,
Southern Poverty Law
Officially.
Center, those organizations.
yeah. Entities that would normally not, they would stay neutral, nonpartisan, as you say, right?
Yeah, no parts. Yeah. I mean, because it's like as a union person,
Right.
you all vote about where our money's going to go to, what candidate we're going to support.
Yeah.
And we throw our dollars behind that candidate.
Right.
But in the church, what are you going to have? Are you now going to get the deacons and the congregation together and say, listen, we're going to vote, we're going to put our tithe money into who we're going to support. So now you got the pastor playing the referee and the peacemaker, about where the money's going to go, who we're going to support. Then you got to have the pressure from the parishioners saying, well, I want to support so-and-so, I want to support this guy or that lady. And they get mad, they're going to leave the church, so now your attendance is going to go down. Now your revenue's gone. And it's not about preaching the gospel anymore. It's about building up a candidate for office. Wow. Where have we gone? This country, one man.
One
you remember that
man.
song? You remember the World Class Wrecking Crew?
The world class wrecking crew. Yes, sir.
This man and his administration is the original world class wrecking crew.
World class wrecking
They are the
crew.
world class wreck because everything they touch over this world, they're trying to wreck it or have wrecked it. So this is the world class wrecking crew.
Everything. I'm like, and everything that comes out of his mouth, it sounds like a goddamn fool.
Yes,
I mean, literally.
yes,
And you almost feel bad for him because he's just sitting up there, and as you put it last week, he got his super pill. What do you call it? Power pill.
yeah.
And when that power pill wears down, it's like one of those toy soldiers. He starts to slurring, says anything. And his followers, his staff, I don't think they care.
Yeah.
Because they're the one writing all this stuff, writing all these policies, all these evil. But they let him sit there and just spew out the most asinine crap. You know?
Yeah. It's terrible.
And it causes, I mean, wow. Well, this is something that we, like I said, we're gonna sit back and see what happens, and this is effective immediately.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes,
I tell you,
effective
Larry,
immediately. It's terrible.
effective immediately.
So I will say this: happy church hunting. All right, because you're gonna have to look far and wide to find a church that's gonna be teaching, preaching Jesus and what's right. Because a lot of these churches are going to be, hey, we got a chance to say what we want to say, and we won't get in trouble for it. We can actually get more people here. We'll cater to the people who got the biggest bank account, who can write the biggest checks. So that's what you're going to have, a bid for the house of God, and that's a shame.
And some of them will be doing it out of being scared, like to lose that particular tither or person
Yeah,
who donates to it, because they're worried about themselves, their
yeah,
income,
yeah,
paying their light bill, paying their
yeah,
mortgage,
yeah.
which is a sad thing to think about, because I don't believe that's what church and religion started out like that thousands of years ago.
Right.
Um, I don't believe that's what it was about.
No, it wasn't.
Uh, but but somehow when you bring this up, you hear people, the preacher, pastor, he got to get paid. He got to pay his bills. No, that's not the way this started out. It didn't start out like this.
No,
Church wasn't a business.
that's right.
It wasn't a business. And so no, I don't go for that. But yeah, this will be very interesting. Um, it's about that time, Lenny. We've done very well this evening. Uh, do you have anything that you would like to summarize as to all that we've discussed this evening? I just want to say one thing first before um, we just want all our listeners to do whatever you can do. We want you to be a part of the resistance. There's so many ways to be a part of the resistance. Make sure everything is ready coming up to the midterms. Make sure all your voting information is correct. There's so many ways that you can be an activist. Um, you know, um, don't give up um, and get despondent about what's happening to our country right now. It's enough to make you be that way. Sometimes you need to just put this news down, just put it away. Take a walk, um, play some games. Some computer games. Just get away from scrolling because that's what they want us to do. They want us to get tired. They want us to fuss and fight with each other. They want to split. Uh, those are the colonizers. And if you don't know what that means, look that up. But those are the colonizers. And we are stronger than that. Um, we will defeat this evil. We will defeat it. So, Lenny, you got anything you want to summarize?
Well, just real quick, and for a quick minute, just the people down in the Everglades who are stuck in that hellhole,
Oh my
they're in a
God.
flood zone. They're in a bad flood zone, and we're about to approach the realest part of hurricane season. So you can imagine what if they're going to be high priority on the list to evacuate when that comes. So those people are going to be trapped. They're going to be trapped out in the middle of nowhere and up and inundated with water.
Mm.
With water. So it's just another sad situation that these governors, these red state governors, who try to kiss the ass of Donald Trump, will put someone else's lives on the line so they can get notoriety, get a press headline. And it's just sad. And one other thing, protect yourselves at all costs. Got a lot of imitators running around thinking, talking about they're part of the government, and they're nothing but imitators. Don't let them take you. By any means necessary, please protect yourselves. Protect your family. By any means necessary. Because you don't know who these people are. They're not identifying themselves. And you have the absolute right to protect yourself. So
Yes,
I encourage everyone to be aware of your surroundings at all times.
Yes, great advice, Lenny. I just want to add one quick thing too about the this horror that's going on down in South Florida. You know, people wouldn't put dogs out there in a situation like that. They wouldn't put animals, but I specifically I said dogs.
Yeah.
If you came up and said I want to house dogs out there, you would get backlash. You would have to leave the country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you are going to take human beings,
That's right.
fathers, mothers, children, and house them in tents, which a lot of people say this resembles the Auschwitz.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
From back in the days of the evil Hitler
Yeah.
and his cronies. It's almost like they've been revived. These are the camps that they housed people in. And those camps, what kind of camps were they called? Those were
Concentration camps.
concentration camps. Yeah,
Yeah.
I went blank there for a second. This South Florida, they put a picture next to another of a concentration camp, and it looks almost like they used that to create these camps. So yeah, this is just really, this is terrible. This is horrific. But we're going to press on, and we're going to keep the resistance going.
Right.
And you know how to contact us. Once again, I want to thank my co-host Lenny. Lenny always brings a game to the table, and he is a student of the resistance. He is a student of politics in general, and he brings his A game. You can contact him, contact us as well. Leave us a message, and we'll get to you. We want to thank our international listeners as well. Lenny didn't mention them at the beginning. We got so caught up in this, but we have some listeners all around the world who've contacted us, and we appreciate you all very much. We couldn't do this without y'all. We feel this is a calling. We want to not only discuss, because we're a part of the resistance. We're not going to hold it back. We are a part of the resistance because what's going on is not something that is normal. So
Exactly.
we are a part of the resistance. We want to help, educate, and do what we can to bring to light what's going on in our country, which is just horrifically sad. And once again, if you get a chance to go back and check out the special that Lenny did that is now posted as a mini pod, the title of that mini pod is simply Killing in the Name of God. Killing in the Name of God. A special mini pod. And this is Lenny, all Lenny. You will definitely learn a lot from those 14 minutes. Just 14 minutes. Check it out. Thanks again, Lenny. We appreciate you, and we appreciate y'all listeners as well, and all the support that you guys give us. And we will see you next time on The Soul of Generation X.
You are listening to The Soul of Generation X, and you can find The Soul of Generation X on Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, YouTube Podcast, and wherever you get your podcast.